I'd like you to look at the two equations here on the top and think about something that you see that is different. One of the things that I would like you to notice is that in this equation, the variables are on the same side of the equal sign, and on this side, this equation, they are on different sides. That's really the main focus of what we're going to look at today. How do you solve an equation when the variables are not easily combined? This would be an equation like we did in the last lesson, where we would just say 3x equals 10. This one is not like that. How do you do it? When the variables are on both sides of the equation, what you do is you move them, the variables and the numbers, by using addition or subtraction until all the variables are on one side and all the numbers are on the other. So let's look at an example. Number 1. We have 15 minus 2x equals negative 7x. So what you do is you look, and before you do any sort of inverses, you look and see what the equation has that you need to deal with. So I have a variable on the left and I also have a variable on the right. So I can't just easily combine them like I did in the last lesson because they're on different sides. So what you do is you pick a side for variables and you pick a side for numbers. Now, as you get more advanced, you'll be able to figure out which side might be fewer steps, but in theory, it doesn't matter which side is variables and which side is numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to put my variables on the right. I'm going to label that with a little v. And I'll keep my numbers on the left, so I label that with an N. Now when I drop my line down the equal sign, I can use that trigger to keep track of which terms need to move and which terms are allowed to stay. So this 15 is a number because it doesn't have any letters next to it, so it belongs on this side. It's going to stay right there. This piece right here has a variable, so it belongs on the variable side. So now you do your inverse operations. You can only do, and when you're moving terms, you can only do addition or subtraction. You don't do division or multiplication until the end. So what we're going to do is look and see that it is being subtracted. So I'm going to inverse it by adding 2x to both sides. So now when you do that, you bring down the 15, and you have negative 7x plus 2x, which is not negative 9x. Hopefully you know your integer rules. It is negative 5x. So now I can check one more time and I say, do I have only numbers on this side? Yes. Do I have only variables on this side? Yes. I have variable terms. This negative 5 is going to move in a moment, but it's part of the variable. So now I'm going to move on to the next level. Since everything is on the side it needs to be on, now is when you can multiply or divide. So I'm going to divide by negative 5, and I get x is equal to negative 3. It tells me that I have to check, so wherever I see an x, I'm going to put negative 3. In this case, there's an x in two different spots, so I have to put a negative 3 here, and also I have to put a negative 3 here. If you go back and look at the equation, there was an x after the 2 and also after the 7. So now you just do your regular calculations. This is going to be 15 minus negative 6, and that equals positive 21 on the right, negative 7 times negative 3, and then you just double check your integer rules. 15 minus negative 6 turns to 15 plus positive 6, and 15 plus 6 is 21, so you get 21 on the left, that equals 21 on the right, and we're all checked, and we can move on to example 2. In example 2, it looks a little more tricky, but don't worry, I got you. We're going to look at what we have to take care of first. So the first thing that it looks like we need to do is the distributive property. Let's just simplify all of these parentheses because you can't do inverses if they're being blocked by those grouping symbols. So I'm going to do the distributive property on the left, and that will give me negative 2x plus 10, because a negative times a negative is a positive. And then I do the distributive property over on the right-hand side. That gives me 12 minus 3x, because 6 times 0.5 is 3. Now I look at my equation and I say, what else do I have to take care of? And I have variables and numbers on both sides. So let's pick a side for variables and a side for numbers. It does not matter which side is variables, which side is numbers. So let me see. In the last question, I put my numbers on the left. So I'm just going to put my variables on the left just to kind of show you that you can do it on either side. So I'm going to label this side with a V for variables and this side with an N for numbers. So I drop my line down the equal sign and I get cracking on that addition subtraction movement. I always like to move my variables first. That's my experienced tip for you. Take it however you want, but I always move variables first. So this variable term is on the number side, so it has to move. So the first thing that I'm going to move is this minus 3x, and when you're moving terms, the only things you can do are add or subtract. So since it's already being subtracted, I'm going to add 3x to both sides. Now when I add it over on the left, I have to line it up with its partner, with its like term that we talked about in the last lesson. So they cancel out over here, and I can just bring down that 12. And then when you combine them over on this side, negative 2x plus 3x is positive 1x. And then you bring down plus 10. If you didn't know that it was positive 1x, you might need to see me to go over your integer rules. Now I look again and I say, what still has to move? Well, this 10 is on the variable side, so I need to move it over because I need to put it on the number side. So since the 10 is positive, I'm going to move it with subtraction. And I get 1x is equal to 2. Now you don't really need the 1. That's kind of silly. You don't have to write the 1. If you want to, you could divide by 1, but 1x is just the same as x, so I'm actually just going to erase the 1, and then I can just circle my answer. It doesn't say we have to check, but let's go ahead and do it anyway. You go back to the original. Whenever you check, you go back to the original equation, and you plug in what you have. So wherever I see an x, I'm going to put a 2. It's going to look super crazy because there's a lot of parentheses. Just go with it. Negative 2 parentheses 2 minus 5 equals 6 times 2 minus 0.5 times 2. Okay, now we just follow regular order of operations. We're just doing calculations. And back in like 4th grade, when you learned how to do calculations, you followed the order of operations. So we're just going to do our parentheses first. So the first thing that we do is everything that's in a parentheses. So 2 minus 5 is negative 3. I'll bring down the rest of the left-hand side. And now over on the right-hand side, I have to do parentheses inside of parentheses. So this gives me 2 minus 1, which then in turn gives me 6 times 1. Oh, look, and I know that that's 6, and negative 2 times negative 3 is also 6, so it checked. All right, we're going to pause the video right here, and we're going to do the other half of the lesson another time. If you have any questions, write them down and ask me when you come to class.